Hi, it's Jessie. I'm back for more. Um, so, my title in my other video, I'm looking at the world and trying to really understand, right? Everything is jacked up. It's just a mess. And where do I get my worldview from? Well, I get my view from what I've been through for the past 20 years, Um, and I have noticed that people try to take your power away from you with accusations. They will cut you off from life with accusations, and it doesn't have to be true. They try things in the dark through the people around you. They convince the people around you of lies. What kind of lies? What am I talking about? It sounds like big words. Um, well, when I was in grad school, one thing they told everybody is that I was obsessed with religion, and I was like this scrupulous nutcase who didn't know what I was talking about, and I was just whatever. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I'm really not religious. I'm not. I might mention Christian teachings. I might mention Judaism. I might mention, Hinduism or Islam one day. It's because I know about these systems. They're important to other people, so it's important that I have some understanding of them, and being able to talk and being able to understand how the world is shaped. So they made this like it was a bad thing, like I was a nutcase, and it wasn't until one of I had two classmates sitting in front of me, and one goes, "Well, why does she always have to make everything about religion?" And the other one goes, because it kind of is. Because it kind of is. Your view of God is going to shape your behavior in the world. Your view of what God expects from you and what God will do for you is going to shape how you interact with the world. And this was basically my point way back when I was studying. I was studying for a Master's of Divinity, by the way. But they had this narrative going that turned something that was good into something that was bad and made me look crazy. And the effort was to make it so that no one would listen to anything that I said because they put me in this crazy box, this religious fanatic box over here. It wasn't until I pointed out that I wasn't, that they stopped doing this stuff. But it didn't matter to the people who were pulling my classmates' strings because they went on to the next box. Well, if she's not this, then let's make her this. They went through so many boxes trying to make me look like somebody that I wasn't. A drunk, I don't drink. A drug addict, I've never done drugs in my life. A prostitute, are you kidding me? I'm the biggest prude in the world. They just... a lesbian. Are you kidding me? Just, they were checking boxes right and left. A puppy abuser. A child abuser. They just kept on. A Karen. They just kept on making up stories to make people not like me, discredit me, attack me, the people around me. No, I didn't have an accusation in a court of law come against me, because if I had been arrested, I would have been given rights. And, the accused have rights. They have these prescriptions, these timelines for how long they're allowed to investigate a case. And they have to make their case. They have to prove their case. It goes before a judge. They can't prove their case, and the case is dismissed, right? But out in this world, there are no laws. If this accusation, we can't make it stick, then we'll move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. They cut me off from everything in the world, spreading these narratives around me and making it so that I was unwelcome everywhere I went. And then after all of this, they want to defend themselves by calling me a housewife. I've never been married. I don't have a husband, you know. They want to call me a stay-at-home mom. Um, this is not by my choosing. You made it so that I had no place to go. And while it's true I stay at home with my children because I have no place to go, I have no friends to talk to, everybody hates me, nobody likes me, they think I'm somebody I'm not, you know, they're afraid to get involved, like I said in my last video, when someone gets themselves into trouble, everybody else isolates that person, because they don't want to be involved, so they keep me in this endless loop of accusations, and then they cover themselves with ridiculous, twisted crumbs of truth. Do I stay at home with my children? Why, yes, I stay at home with my children. I'm not a stay-at-home mom. Y'all cut me off, It's ridiculous. The things that they do, the lies that they tell. And this is the world that I want to pull down. This is the institution that needs to be destroyed, because it doesn't take your breath. It does take your life. It does take your life. And then it justifies itself by twisting the truth. It will call you fat and lazy. It will say that you're stupid. It will call you... They tried to say I was schizophrenic. They said I was a paranoid schizophrenic. They tried to say so many things to cover themselves. And everything came at my expense. And it makes me think, if you kill someone, they cannot cover you. There can be no redemption. There can be no forgiveness. You just keep running these cases like your life depends on it, because you don't know any other way. Because you think this is the way that the world works. But it's only the way that the world works because this is the way you work in the world. And if you knew some law, you would understand. If you have wronged someone, apologize. Don't talk bad about people. Baseless hatred, stirring up baseless hatred with all these lies and accusations. That's the reason the tower fell way back when. It's the reason the nation will fall. You can't just target those who you can't control. You can't just kill people without law. That is lynching. This mob justice you got going on, nowhere in there did I have a right to face my accuser. Nowhere in there was there any kind of due process. Nowhere in there was the Constitution followed. Nowhere. I had no rights to anything, and I have no help, because where I do have help, they go and tell them she's a drug addict. They go and tell them I'm a drunk. They go and tell them I'm a stay-at-home mom. They go and tell them I went to Walmart, I bought some corn, I bought some watermelon, I bought some muffin mix, I bought some orange juice, whatever I bought at Walmart. Oh, she shopped at Walmart. She deserves to die, They use the small details of your life that, the things that you have to do. You have kids, you got to feed them, right? You got to go to Walmart and get that watermelon and that corn because that's where it's cheapest. You got kids, you got to feed them. But these people will take the details of your life and twist them into something that they're not, And everything is to justify your murder, to cover up the fact that they've been killing you all along. And there is no end to it. You can't take them down, because you take one down, another one pops up. They got so many people involved in this. I had an army against me, mind you. Everywhere I went, they got the people around me. Everywhere I went. That's an army. That's an army, right? I'm one person. I am one person by myself, without a judge on my side, without an army on my side. I have a God on my side. And God, he shows me the past, and he says, look, this happened way back when. They took the doors off. They took away people's privacy. They took away the laws. They undermined the laws, and they played with the laws to make it so that the people couldn't live within the law, so that the people couldn't maintain their identity. They changed the laws for the Jews, so you have to eat pork or die. They changed the laws for them so that before their daughters were allowed to marry, they had to spend the night with the governor. They used the laws to to strip the life away from the people and the community and everything. And what they did back then is no different than what they did today. But the way they overcame it back then, there was this group of five, the five Maccabees, right? The Hashmonean dynasty, right? This guy, Judas Maccabee, he was the Messiah that we all look for. They went against this, Assyrian Greek Empire. And the empire fell. They rose, temple restored, Jewish people, their life preserved, through generations till it fell again. Because they got in, they undermined the laws, they had infighting, they had baseless hatred. But the point is, when they brought the people out, it didn't take, another empire or world war. It just took this one guy and his brothers to stand up and say no. It just took them, and empires fell. Kings died on their way to attack them, died of dysentery. God preserved their lives, And what did they do? They fought for God and for their law. For God and for their law. For God and for their law. So no matter how big the enemy is, if you stand for God and you stand for the law, I'm not a Jew, right? But I do believe in Torah. I'm an American, and I believe in the Constitution. So I can fight you on Torah principles, I can show you where you are, Amalek. I can show you, I can show you that they get you, Amalek, where you're weak in the law, right? And I can show you the importance of law. And I can tell you that you want to be saved from this nonsense. I can't save myself, right? Maybe I can help you. And the more I give you power, the more I help you to see the power in the law, the power in coming back to God, the power of unity, because they divide us against one another with lies and accusations and just manipulation. The more we turn away from this nonsense and the more we turn into what's good, the better our world will be, the more safe it will be. And maybe some way I'll find my purpose, if not out there, then in the process of getting there, But this nonsense, where they twist things, where they do things to prove things, where nothing can be trusted. This nonsense, it needs to stop, and they won't stop. They've been doing it for 20 years. They got no shortage of supply. So what do I got to do? Lift up God in my law. Lift up God in my law. Lift up God in my law. Okay? That is why I'm here talking. I'm trying to change the world, and I don't know how. I don't know where to get in. I tried to change it within the system. That's where they cut me down. I tried to. So I'm going to take a different route. And I'm just going to lift this up, and I'm going to put it right here. And even though I get 0 views on my videos, I know people are listening to me. I know my words are spreading throughout. And I know that there's other leaders picking up my words and carrying my words. And picking up my ideas and carrying my ideas. So I don't care if there's 0 views on my video. Because I know that my words, me sitting here speaking, just speaking, I know that someone hears me. And it's making an impact. And I don't need a big impact, because God will take a little and stretch it a long way. I just need that impact somewhere. So while it looks like I'm a mess, trust in the process. Trust in the process. We'll get it organized together. Well, it's hard to get in. It's real hard to get in when you're not coming up through the system. They kicked me out. They cut me down. They use that as a weapon against me. I'm going to stand outside the system, just like the Maccabees, stood outside the system, proclaimed God and the law, got people to follow them. System fell. God rose. Let's go back to the day. Knock down the institutions that are oppressing us. Raise up God in the law. That's all we need, right? That's all we need. All right, that's all I wanted to say. I'm done talking now. Have a good day. God bless.